Hey, what's up everybody? It's Neil Holmes here from the WoRX, and today I want to talk to you more about this concept of where you feel it and where it starts are two different places. So way back, I think in 2005, back when I was still in massage school, we took a class field trip to the FSMTA, which is the Florida State Massage Therapy Association conference. And so while we're there, if you've been to any types of conferences, there are always different booths that are set up all over the place, as they're trying to feature whatever it is that they're selling or a new therapy and things like that. And so while we were there was a really big group that was gathered around one booth. And so of course we went over there to go check things out. And here was this guy who was standing there, long ponytail, I'll never forget this, silver hair, and he's holding a big stick. And he is asking for volunteers, and he's saying, hey, where does it hurt? Where does it hurt? So I decided, I'm like, let me volunteer, because I have always had left side, right here, low back pain, right by my tailbone. And so I went ahead and I said, yep, it's right here. And he said, all right, go ahead and lay down on the floor, face up. He said, I'm going to start pressing on the front of your right leg. And I just sat there, I remember saying, yeah, but it doesn't hurt there. Where it hurts is back here, it's my low back. And so he went on to say, I get that, but I'm going to find a really terrible spot in the front of your opposite leg, front of your right leg. And so I just thought, hey, I'm in massage school right now. I've gone through all the anatomy and the physiology, and I said there's no correlation there, but whatever. So I went ahead and laid down, and sure enough, as soon as he started pushing with his foot, like along my leg, there was that horrible spot that made me want to, jump through the roof. He said, there it is. I'm going to push on it, and you have to do all these different movements, move your leg this way, move your foot this way. And so that was a horrible 10 seconds to go through. But as soon as I was done, he said, okay, get up, go walk around, and then come back and let me know how you feel. And then he went right on to the next person. And I felt kind of like, I'm like, man, you didn't even check on me. I was over here just kind of out of breath because it was very difficult. But as soon as I was done, my classmates came over to me and they're like, how do you feel? And I started like bending and like twisting, and I kept looking for that spot and I couldn't find that pain. And I was like, I didn't understand it one bit, because here I was in massage school, and that spot in my low back, I was at the time, at least twice a week, was getting that area worked on in massage school, and the pain never went away. So here it was at this conference, here's a guy, crazy long hair, goofy looking stick, and he got rid of my pain just like that. So that was my first introduction to, okay, where you feel it and where it starts are two different places. And so I've had so many patients over the years who've all come in here who've had the same exact problems, and they would just say, man, I just need you to rub as hard as you can right here. And in fact, so many more of them who would say, I've already gone to 2 other therapists, you're a big guy, I need you to push as hard as you can right here. And I would look at them and just say, I'm not going to do anything any different than the last person did. So why don't you let me go find where this starts? And so that's always how I've looked at it, where it's very rare. I think, the stat is something like 74% of the time where you feel it and where it starts are not the same place. And so if you think about it, almost three quarters of the time, the problem is going to start somewhere else. And so this just proves the point even further. I even had one of my friends, she's a nurse at the surgical center. And I remember seeing her complaining on Facebook about these horrible headaches that she was having. And then she would then get a shot from one of the doctors. Then she'd be thanking them on Facebook about, oh, I can't believe it, finally got some relief. Not 3 days later, this pain and problem is back again. And then there she was just voicing the problem on Facebook. And I kept reaching out over and over. I'm like, just come see me. And so when she finally did, this is exactly what she said. She said, Neil, I need you to rub as hard as you can right here, because that's where the problem is. And I looked at her and I said, I'm not going to rub that spot any different than you've rubbed that spot. And you've already had injections from your doctors at the surgical center right up in there. So how about you let me go and find this problem somewhere else? And that's exactly what I did. In her case, her problem were these muscles here in the front of the neck. And with all the back pain people, back pain is one of those funny things where If it's not muscle A, then go to the next progression. Is it B? Is it C? And so you just keep stair stepping until you find which one is the right one. But there have been so many other instances that I could tell you about where people have gone and they have tried to solve this problem somewhere else. Another nurse who she was having horrible back pain and she went to go get a massage somewhere. And think about this, if you've ever had back pain and you lay face down, it usually makes it worse. Now imagine getting a 1-hour massage while you're laying face down the whole time and then trying to get up. She could barely get off the table. And she said all she did was leave that office and drove right over to mine and asked, is there anything that you can do? And I said, yeah, but I'm not gonna rub where somebody else literally just rubbed 20 minutes ago. Why don't you let me go and figure out where this starts? After working on her for just 20 minutes, having her get up and down, move around, give me feedback, that problem, we solved that so fast and she got relief and was out the door that day. So how many times have you gone to different therapies like physical therapy, massage therapy, chiropractic, pain injections, acupuncture? How many times have you gone to go solve your problems doing these other therapies, but the problem is still there? And it's because most of the time, if it hurts right here, they're going to push right here. Then they're also going to put electric stem, ultrasound. We'll put some pain cream on there. And then eventually we'll put a shot in there. And then after the shot, now it's off to go do surgery. But it could be just as simple as the problem is down further here. There's always a kink, right? There's always a kink in the hose. I like to talk about this. I like to explain this to my patients, where let's say you're outside washing your car and all of a sudden when you go to hose off the car, the water stops coming out. Now, would you just look at the head of the hose and just beat it and, bang the hose trying to get the water to come out? Or would you go look for the kink in the hose? That's how the body works. With the hose, it's probably stuck under the tire. But when it comes to medicine in the body, if it hurts here, we're gonna do everything right here. But in reality, there's a kink in the hose somewhere else. And so that's what we do here. That's what's different. We are always looking for that kink in the hose in the body. And whether it's if you've tried massage, if you've tried PT, if you've tried chiropractic, even if you've had an MRI and then they've taken the MRI and then they've gone in to do injections right into those spots, L3, 4, 5, S1, and you're still having problems. Just because the MRI said that doesn't mean that that's where the pain is actually starting. If you take a look at this chart here, this is a trigger point chart that's specific for one muscle, which is the glute medius. That muscle right there, do you see the red areas? You've got right above the hip, and then you've got dead center, very low back. These areas of red is where you feel it, but the X's are where it starts. So just remember, where you feel it and where it starts are always going to be two different places. I hope this makes sense, because over here at the WoRX, all we focus on is figuring out what is your pain pattern and then reverse engineering that pain pattern to try and figure out where the problem starts. So if that is something you're looking for, that is exactly what we do here. If you are still dealing with low back, hip, sciatic pain, even headache, neck, and shoulder stuff, those are all the things that we specialize in here. And if you are looking for the relief and you want to get it, we may be the answer. So get online at thebackworks.com. That's BACKWORX.com. And make an appointment. If you want to give us a call, if you want to talk about it first and let us know what have you tried. Whatever it is, if you're still having problems, chances are where you feel it and where it starts are two different places. All right, guys, this is Neil Holmes with the WoRX, and hope to see you soon.